Welcome back to the Claret and Big Blue podcast, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to the New York Giants and West Ham United. Yes, football and football, balls for everyone's taste. I like that catchphrase. I'm going to keep doing that one.
That's cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah. I am Mike Fish, and I'm joined, as always, which I can say now because it's the second episode, as always, by Mr. Alex Middleton. Alex, how you doing?
Good, man. We were hoping to be coming back off of a win, and I'm pretty stoked that we are right now.
Undefeated.
Right, almost in first place in the NFC East.
Undefeated since we've been covering the New York Giants.
Those are just facts right there. So pretty much we're never going to lose a game, and we're not going to lose a game this week either. So 3 straight weeks it's going to be going on with this podcast undefeated.
We are not going to lose this weekend.
Guarantee it. I can guarantee we will not lose on the bye week.
Did you watch?
Take that to the bank.
Before we get into it, did you watch Monday Night Football last night on ESPN?
I did watch a little bit of it. It was not a great game.
It was not a great game. But did you see when they were kind of wrapping up the weekend's replays, how they introduced the Giants Eagles highlights?
I did not.
That guy, I can't remember the guy's name, the old guy that talks like, "Oh, now we're going to the Giants."
Oh, Chris Berman?
Maybe.
Boomer?
Yeah,
I love Chris Berman.
What? He introduced it as NFC East challengers. New York Giants beat the Eagles.
I mean, you can't say that if it's not factual, Andrew, on TV. That's what we've learned. It's got to be facts if you say it on TV. And Boomer saying that clearly shows we're right there. Also, we have the same amount of wins as the division leader. They just have played another game and tied a game. So, which really, it's our game. It's our division for the taking right now.
It is. I mean,
so
before
we're definitely contenders.
Further afield and look ahead of the rest of our schedule. So, I guess going into the game, I mean, obviously we had our optimism. We was putting out the positive energy into the universe.
Positive vibes only.
Within yourself, how was you feeling going into the game?
I felt good. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it was just me amping myself up about it all week, and just, sometimes you gotta just talk yourself into these things. And I was like, we're probably gonna beat them. It's been since 2016 we haven't beaten them. We're due. And then they're kind of buying into Joe Judge. They played pretty well against Washington the previous week. It kind of seems like they've slowly come along as the season's going. And then they came out and they delivered it. Like, I don't know if it was a combination of me talking myself into it, but I felt good. I felt good going into the game. The Eagles always kind of seem like a little bit of a clusterfuck when they're going into it. They were still banged up. They did get a couple guys back. And I know that a lot of people are like, well, they're coming off a bye week. A lot of times I feel like maybe you get rusty on a bye week. Like, what? They just didn't play last week? Cool. I know you can rest up, and it always seems like a good thing, but sometimes coming off a bye week's not great. The Giants under Coughlin at one point were like 1-7 off the bye week. I remember that was a huge streak, and I hated that. So, like, I always dreaded buys, like the week after buys. I don't anymore. So I'm always just like, why can't other teams suck after the bye? And the Eagles suck after the bye. They didn't suck, but they weren't as good as us. I'll tell you that much.
And I know, like I said, you're going to have to do most of the heavy lifting on this because, unfortunately, I have to run errands. And so I was, like, I was in and out of the game. Mm-hmm. But from what I was seeing, it was just like, it was never, I guess the Eagles never seemed like a threat, if that makes sense. It was always like the Giants would go ahead and then maybe the Eagles would score, but then straight away we'd come back, and it seemed like we was always at least like 2 scores ahead, I guess. Was that accurate?
The Boston Scott 56-yard run in like the third quarter, that made me nervous. That really made me scared there. It seemed like the Giants have all season long, it feels like they've been able to start off hot, and I think they've had double-digit leads, and they kept saying that they had double-digit leads in their last 6 games going into this, or maybe it was last 5 games, so it's 6 games in a row with a double-digit lead. They had only won 2 of the previous ones going into that, clearly. But they start hot a lot of times, and then they just, like, it's like the defense gets gassed and then just wears down slowly. And when Boston Scott, like, going into the half with the lead and then having a lead at that point, then the Eagles get the ball. Boston Scott has that big run. It just kind of took some of the air out of the sails. It felt like where you're like, oh, damn it, this is going to be the defense doing that same thing. Well, now we start shitting the bed in the second half, and then we're going to end up losing in like a 4 or 5 point game. And that was right after that. It was like Danny Dimes was like, all right, I got to throw to Golden Tate real quick here. I got to throw to Darius Slayton real quick here, make a couple big passes, get the run game going with Wayne Gallman, Alfred Morris. And they answered right back with another touchdown. And I think that was really the turning point in the whole game, where you had the Giants that previously in the season, I think that Eagles run that breaks them. That's it. Like that's where, on ESPN, we've seen the win percentage meter where it's like, oh, that's where you start seeing it go downhill. And then I think Danny Dimes being like, all right, fuck it, we can score 2. Doing that, then that shows the Eagles like, all right, well, we're not just going to run right through this. It kind of felt like that hurt the Eagles' confidence a little bit. I know they made it closer, but I don't know. That was really, at that point, I was like, I think we're going to win this game. That was when I was I was really feeling like we were going to win it. I've had a good feeling going in. I was cautiously optimistic. I was nervous when Boston Scott scored, but that was just like, that's what a winning team does. And I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl or anything this year, but that was like what it looked like. They turned a corner. And I mean, I hope they did. That would be awesome if they did. Well, yeah, I wish Danny would have thrown a touchdown, but whatever. I'll take points any way we can get him.
He still scored a touchdown.
He ran one in. He ran another one in, but it got called back because of holding.
Right. But I mean, I guess turning the curve, because I think, was it the Eagles game where we were maybe like 6 yards from scoring a touchdown, and then Danny threw an interception or something. And then
it might have been the Bears. I feel like it was an early on game.
Because I just remember watching that, and it's like, I think
it was the Eagles. You're right. It was the Eagles because he did that, and then he had the fumble to end it.
We were solidly ahead, and then you could just see the confidence just dropped in the team, and they just came back and beat us. So I guess it's nice now to see that we could have a lead. They could score, because what did they score 13 unanswered points in this game?
Something like that, yeah. And it was it's one of those things where a lot of times they say, like, you got to lose a championship before you win it. I know that was a big thing for Sidney Crosby and them with the Penguins before they finally won it. And I mean, another sport, but whatever. But I feel like you got to like learn how to like overcome the losses at one point. And Joe Judge, like, he inherited a bad team, and he inherited a team that didn't have a lot of time to work out like they normally do before a regular season. I feel like I said this like last week, but like you come into a shortened off season as a first-year head coach, you're going to kind of be behind the 8 ball with a bunch of young offensive linemen trying to figure it out. Slowly, as the weeks have gone on, that offensive line has kind of gelled. Will Hernandez was back. Matt Peart is looking really good out there on the offensive line. And they were like, they're sort of just coming together. And like you took the punches from the Tampa Bays and early on against Pittsburgh, and you got your ass beat against the 49ers and a Bears team that was better than they are now at that point in time. And you took your L's. And I think that it's about like, you can take those and you can just crumble from it, or you can like be like, okay, well, I think let's build on this. This is what we did right. This is what we did wrong. If we had done a couple of things this way, it could have led to that. And I think that's kind of what Joe Judge seems like he's selling them on. Just like the little things that could also like, because they've been in most of the games this season. Yeah. And I like that in a young team. If they were getting blown out week in and week out, it's like, I don't think any of the guys here. That's kind of like what Pat Shurmur had the last couple of years. We're like, what are we doing? Why not try out the young guys? Why do we have vets out there if we have young guys here? Why not let's see what's fucking happening with some of these guys here. Let's give them looks and see if they're going to stick around long enough or if they're not worth it. And Judge is like, all right, fine. Like, Golden Tate, you want to talk shit? We'll sit you. Like, you won't play. We're going to just like, don't suit up this week. That's fine. And then Golden Tate changes his attitude, does the whole apology thing, and comes back and has that big catch on that drive that kind of turned things around. But I think that that's kind of what we're sort of seeing. We're not going to miraculously like make a run to the Super Bowl. Although who says we aren't 100% going to do that? I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying the odds are not in our favor. But like, this is a team I think going forward I am feeling really good about. Not the rest of this year, but like next year and the year after that, I think the Giants could be a really good team.
Yeah, I mean,
we got cap space in the offseason too.
I'm confident more and more that we can definitely make the playoffs this year, 100%. I'm very confident.
Only because we're in the NFC East.
Yeah,
but
totally. Yeah,
That counts. Somebody's got to get in.
Exactly. And then, again, I guess, like you're saying, I'm not confident of like a Super Bowl run or anything like that. However,
but we won't rule it out.
Once you do get into the playoffs, like it's one game. It's all you got to focus on, one game.
We've done that twice. We have done that 2 times.
Yeah.
And the last 2 times the Giants won it. So it's like, just get a ticket. You never know.
I mean, it's teams that I support, I guess, do this kind of thing. So, I mean, are you a hockey guy?
Yeah, big hockey guy.
So I am, unfortunately, a New Jersey Devils fan. And I still remember, I think it was the first or second year that Taylor Hall got drafted to the Devils. I think it was the first. But anyway, where it was mass publicized that this is a rebuilding year for the Devils, things like that. So don't expect anything. And then we made the playoffs. I mean, we didn't make it very far through the playoffs, but we made the playoffs. So I'm there thinking, whoa, okay, rebuilding year, making the playoffs. What's
not bad?
What's the next year's going to bring? And it's nothing. Nothing has come from it ever. So I'm not going to get my hopes up for that. But I mean,
no, because what the Devils didn't have was Joe Judge, and Joe Judge is the catalyst in all of this. I think he's got like.
I don't know what I'm doing with the pen.
I know it seems because when you point like this, if you're watching the video version of this, it seems like I mean more like when I'm talking with, as I point my finger like this, Joe Judge, you're like, oh, Alex really knows. Like Joe Judge, without the point, you're just like, okay. But when I'm like Joe Judge, that's 2 points. So yeah. See, you get when you guys the point. If you watch the episode of The Office where Dwight Schrute has to give his speech, he's like, yeah, just do a lot of hand movements. People trust those people. Those are strong leaders that make a lot of hand movements. But I think Joe Judge, though, I was super questioning of him coming over from New England. But, like, special teams has been what has really won a lot of games we've seen in the NFL every year, but specifically a lot of times this year where a fumble or a short field turns things around. The Giants have always been a shitty team, special teams-wise, until this year. And we're able to have good returns. We're not fucking up. We're not having turnovers. We're practicing stopping turnovers and causing turnovers. And we're like with the Washington game last week or the previous week, we had the 2 turnovers on special teams plays, gives you the short field. Even if you're struggling, it gives you the opportunity to make the plays. And I think that like, doing that puts you in a much better situation to win a lot of games like that. And it starts off small. You start off with special teams, and then he's like, okay, let's get Patrick Graham with the defense going. All right. And now, Danny, we'll just we'll stop the turnovers. We'll stop the turnovers. That's our next step. And now it's just fuck shit up. We're just going to go fuck other teams up.
Well, I think, is this the second?
That's the next phase.
Is this the second game in a row that he's thrown 0 interceptions?
You're right. Again, since Claret and Big Blue podcast has existed, Danny Dimes has absolutely no interceptions or turnovers whatsoever.
Although he's still getting sacked a lot, which is kind of annoying.
But not his fault always. And he's taking sacks, which is a bigger thing because he was fumbling it before.
I'll take a sack than a fumble.
So basically, we fixed Danny Dimes' turnover problem. You're welcome.
I think it was because last week, did I not say that announce that I was kind of losing faith in Daniel Jones? Mm-hmm. So I think he listened to this podcast.
You motivated him, and he had to go prove Mike wrong. And maybe, maybe you did that. But then he also was like, but I don't want to let Alex down because Alex was such a positive guy that was in my corner the whole time. Alex never doubted me. So it's like, and he's like, I've got to go. Yeah. Right. So he's like, I want to make Alex proud. And I also want to prove Mike wrong and then make Mike join Alex's side where he'll just defend me to the death of him, which I will do. I don't care what happens. He's my guy now.
Fuck this guy with the stupid English accent. I'm going to prove him wrong.
Yep. That's probably what he did.
And then,
so that is because of you then.
Another player that's been, I'm going to throw this away, this pen.
See, I'm telling you, once you start pointing, it gets more fun and then you just start doing it. Try it at home.
But Wayne Gorman had another very good week this week.
And again, they stopped running him at random points in the game. We're like, why aren't we running Wayne? Put Wayne in again. And Alfred Morris wasn't bad. Now he has stretches, but I want Wayne. I want Wayne in as much as we can get him in there.
Because maybe, is it a stats thing? Because I was looking at the stats after the game, and maybe like, because the stats don't look, I mean, he had 2 touchdown runs, but
So we noticed.
I think
He had
was
18 carries.
so
Morris only had 8. So I don't know. It just seemed like in weird situations, it was when Morris was in.
Because I know Gorman, he averaged like less than 3 yards per rush, which looks bad, but he did it when it mattered and got us the first downs, got us 2 touchdowns.
And he had that jump at the end zone. That was pretty sick.
That was beautiful.
I like those touchdowns. Those are like the coolest end zone runs. Like, I don't care if you run through people. I like jumping over. Like the finesse.
You know the defensemen are like, damn, like shit after that when some guy just hops over their head.
Yeah, I feel like that's like what Lookman was trying to do in the last West Ham game as we shoehorn it into the other team we follow. Like, where like Lookman was like, he was trying to go for the jump over the goal line, but he fucked it up because a lot of times if you try and do the leap, you just get lit up. And what he should have done is just buried it and tried to like run right through the defenders. He
went for the highlight reel, but made the wrong highlight reel.
And you know what? When it's not a highlight reel one, it's just going to look really silly a lot of times.
Because he's going to go for a big team and they'll be like, aren't you the guy that did the stupid chip thing?
You're the guy that whiffed. We don't want you kicking PKs when it matters.
Speaking of like looping back to the last episode, do you think his key card's been reactivated yet? Do you think he's been let back in?
I mean, the international break, it would be a good time to just like, oh, crap, man, that guy took a vacation.
Hope he forgets to come back.
Just hope he, yeah, just, I mean, I would assume he didn't get international duty after that.
No. Did you ever?
I would assume, maybe they just turned it on. They gave him like a couple days. They're like, all right, scare him. But if you fuck up again, because really, what else does Fulham have?
They have, what is this guy? Is it Mitrovic? That scary looking bouncer kind of guy?
Oh, yeah.
Is it
I only know him because he looks like a scary looking bouncer. I don't know the name, but I know he looks like a scary looking bouncer guy. That's how I made the connection.
I'm pretty sure it's definitely a bitch. Something a bitch.
One of those guys.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch any of those international games? Did you get hyped up about international break?
I watched a little bit of the France-Sweden game today because I bet France to win.
Oh, is it still going on? Is there still international games going on?
The Nations League was on today.
Now I need.
So I watched that, and France won 4-2. So that was cool.
That sounds like a good game.
I had France money line and France -1, so that was pretty sick. And then I saw Germany got blown out by Spain 5-0 or 6-0.
England are playing tomorrow. I just found that out. That's how much of a bad countryman I am. I had no idea that was happening.
And the U.S. beat somebody. Like the U.S., I think it was like Panama. That's what's like weird. Like I mean, I understand that everybody gets to play, but it's like I'm just not as interested as like the games against Panama.
That's when I was like, oh, USA won. Oh, really? Who are they playing? Panama? What? Sorry, what? Who?
Right, or like Trinidad and Tobago, and like I'm not a geologist or anybody that claims to be, but I don't know what half of the countries were that I was looking at when I tried to look at like the ESPN scoreline. It was like I know Azerbaijan was one, but it was like all of the Bajanians or like I don't know the other Georgia that's not a state here. Like oh yeah, I forgot that place existed.
Don't geologists look at like stones and stuff?
You know what? Don't correct me. All right, Mike. Clearly, I don't look at either. Or maps.
Geology, geography, okay? Doesn't fucking matter.
Whatever. Either or. All the geos.
Maps, motherfuckers. Maps.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not as like interested in that shit, but I also don't really care about the USA friendlies or World Cup qualifiers because it's like the US should beat Costa Rica. The U.S. should beat Jamaica. The U.S. should beat Panama. We're the fucking United States. We have 1 billion more people. That was why it was an embarrassment when they didn't make the World Cup last time.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's when I look at your route or route. I don't know which one's American and what's English anymore. Route. I've been saying defense a lot more, which is kind of annoying. Defense. Oh, anyway.
That's what defense?
Defense.
That's what you use?
I guess that way we say it's like D''fence. Defense.
Yeah, I've been working about like I'll go play a pickup game or shoot the soccer ball around on Saturday mornings, and they call it training. And I'm like, guys, it's practice. We're not training for anything. We're practicing. And that's like a big thing I feel like that I'm just now picking up on.
I guess when you train on something and then practice what you learned during training.
If I was training for like the Olympics, I would train for the Olympics. You would train if you were in the EPL because you're training for like a competition, but like I'm not really training to go play a pickup game with my friends.
I guess
Practicing. I'm practicing not being a shitty goalkeeper. That's what I'm practicing. I'm not training to be.
Wait, so you're saying you're a shitty goalkeeper? Or you're
training not. I mean,
I was going to say.
I'm giving up exactly 0 MLS goals, so I wouldn't say I'm that shitty. But
I mean, you're on a roll for that.
Yeah. 0 international goals given up also while we're at it.
That's a stat.
And Premier League goals also. So like really any of the leagues, 0 goals given up.
0 goals conceded MLS, 0 goals in the Premier League, 0 international goals. This guy runs in volcanoes.
And yet I still remain unsigned. What's a guy got to do? Dynamo did rebrand today. They're like the Houston Dynamo Football Club. So they just added an FC. They changed the logo. But maybe a rebrand, a new look, new keeper. I don't know. Hit me up. Dynamo. Was you follow me on Twitter. Hit me up. Slide on those DMs. Today. It was today.
Did they give a reason why they wanted to add FC at the end of it?
Because they're a club now and not just a team or something like that. I'm trying not to speak ill of possibly my future, my future team.
Your future
win inevitably that they just give into the pressure and sign me. And definitely won't regret it.
I mean, is there like a petition people can go and sign for this?
I wish. I don't know. I have still said to like on my podcast, on Past the Gravy, my other podcast, on Past the Gravy, this is part of the Past the Gravy podcast network. But on Past the Gravy podcast, I did say I thought if you gave me 10 tries against the Dynamo, like from penalties, that I could probably. I don't think all 10 would go in.
No. Because someone's bound to miss the goal.
Right. And I don't have to stop it. But if they miss or if they lookman it, I think I was like, you sign me. If I can't stop all 10, you don't have to sign me. If I can't stop 1 of 10.
Are we talking about regular penalties or like the old school MLS penalties where they run from that?
No, penalties just as is now, like right now.
See, those old school MLS penalties.
You could just start from wherever.
Were stupid, but it looked so much more entertaining, I think.
Just because you could run from a distance?
Did you not see those?
I don't remember those.
So I think it was from the center spot. And then you would just start running at the goalkeeper, and then the goalkeeper could come off at his line and start psyching you out.
Oh, what? That's awesome.
I have to go to YouTube after this.
Yeah. I'll go watch an old Brian McBride game. There we go. That's one. I was trying to Kobe Jones.
Are you just making up these names?
No, I remember. Did you not? You never played backyard soccer, Mike. You never had backyard soccer. There was these games, and you had these kids. They were like little cartoon kids, but they would always like integrate like pro players in it. And when like the MLS was first a thing, like the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars were the team before the Red Bulls.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But they had like Kobe Jones was on it and Brian McBride and like a couple of the other guys that I don't remember the names of, or Zach Thornton. He was the Chicago Fire's keeper at one point. But you could play with those guys.
Something you'd go on Google and like American name generator.
Go look up backyard soccer, and I promise you'll be like, oh, Alex wasn't bullshitting. If you guys don't remember the backyard games, backyard baseball, backyard football, I don't think they had basketball, but they did have backyard hockey and they had backyard soccer, and that was the shit.
Are these like video games or something?
They were like computer games. They're like video games on your computer, though.
Computer games.
Pablo Sanchez, I think was his name, was the best guy on baseball. and he was always pretty talented at everything, but he was like a game-generated guy. You always wanted Pablo.
John Johnson, that kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah. They had a bunch of great like fake ID names now that I'm thinking about it. I should have used all of those names as fake ID names when I was a young lad. But luckily I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't know how we got on Kobe Jones and kicking penalties and how you could run to it, right? There we go. That's how we made that
seamlessly
segue.
Transitions us into Graham Garneau testing positive for coronavirus.
Yep, exactly. Which good thing we got a bye week. That's all I got to say about that. He's going to be fine. We just locked him up for 3 years.
Yeah, he'll be done. He'll be fine.
He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's going to hit all the field goals the rest of the season.
Did you? Because I only just saw it like he just did he just test positive, or
I saw it this morning that he did. Like, I don't know if the test was yesterday or what, but I guess he got the results back today from yesterday's test. That would make sense, right?
Monday.
And Monday's test. So Tuesday's when we recorded. Yeah.
So when is our next game? It's not this Sunday. It's the following Sunday.
29th. Sunday, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, even if he's still COVID up to eyeballs, he can kick wearing a mask.
I mean, he should be able to, theoretically. But I think he should be fine. Like, you just got to test negative twice. I think he should. I hope so. Thoughts and prayers to Graham Garneau. Hopefully he gets better. We need him.
Thoughts and prayers and all that.
Finally, we have a kicker.
Yeah. Well, I was worried because, again, just because my damn luck, I was always figuring like as soon as he signed his contract extension, suddenly he was going to be like, this is the real me, and being like shit again.
Yeah, he just wanted to get locked up, but no, and he was like, actually, I'm just going to catch corona.
Yeah. I've been waiting for my contract to come through.
Now I'm locked up with this health insurance.
Live my lifelong dream. But no, has he missed this year?
I think he missed once. I think one time.
But no, because I think we mention this last week? Like our previous kicker was pretty shit.
Aldrich Roses. He was good for a year or two, and then he just kind of started fading, and last year he was trash.
What's he doing nowadays?
I don't know. He's on somebody, I think. I can't remember who, though. Maybe he got cut. He's not on our team. I'll tell you that much.
That's all that matters.
He's not beating the Philadelphia Eagles last Sunday. Fighting for a division title, even unless he's on a division title winning team, but not in our division.
No. And not scoring 27 points, which, Mr. Alex Wilson, you predicted that we'd score 27 points.
Was it 27-23 is what I said?
I think so. I'll have to look back.
It was 27-20. I was close. Or 17? 17-27. Okay, I was close then.
I was way off. I think I said like
16-13, or you thought it was going to be low scoring?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be terrible, but I'm glad to be wrong.
Right. Those are the good ones. But, yeah, they won and they covered, which was awesome. So, Giants looking pretty right now, and I really just hope we don't go lay an egg against the Bengals.
I mean, they're not the best team either.
But they're a little frisky, so I don't know.
I mean,
this will be a test to be like, are we just going to be dominant over the teams that we should be dominant against? Even though we weren't really dominant against Washington, but like, are we going to win against teams we should beat? Because we got to beat them. We got to beat the Browns, and we got to beat the Cowboys to really have a shot at the division. Maybe we could sneak a win in against the Ravens at the end if they're already resting people up.
Yeah, because I think, don't we have a track record of winning our last game of the season when it doesn't matter? But I guess it will matter this
time. We lost to the Cowboys a couple of years ago, but I think we've been pretty historically good on the last games of the season.
Right. And then who else will we got? We got the Ravens.
Seattle, Arizona are going to be lost. It's going to be Bengals. Bengals, we need to have the win. Seattle, I'm penciling that in as a loss. Arizona, penciling that in as a loss. Cleveland, we got to win that one. That's a winnable game. They struggled against the Texans last week. We gotta get a game like that. We gotta win, and that's the most winnable of the rest of the ones that isn't a division opponent or Bengals, and then Ravens Cowboys finishes it out.
It's definitely in our wheelhouse. We've definitely got a chance.
It's just like not the most ideal schedule.
No,
but doable.
But I think even against the Seahawks,
you gotta steal a game or two.
I think the Seahawks it's either going to go one of two ways. I think we're going to somehow scrape a win, or they're just going to destroy us. If that makes sense.
Which, yeah, and to parallel to West Ham again, it's kind of like the stretch we just went through. It's like, all right, we got some good teams here. Can we weather Man City? Can we weather Liverpool? Can we weather Leicester? Like, can we get through this stretch? Or the Tottenham stretch too. Like, can we get through that? We gotta sneak some. We don't have points, but we gotta sneak some wins.
The only thing I'm worried about is because it's going to be tight. It's going to come down to the last game or two. But I'm worried.
Unless everybody else just loses and we keep.
Because who's our last game? Is it the Ravens or the Cowboys? Our last game, the Cowboys. So
Bengals. It's Bengals, Seahawks, Cardinals, Browns, Ravens, Cowboys.
So I don't think my heart would be able to take watching like the Cowboys game where it's like we win, we're in the playoffs, lose, we're not.
There's no way we lose the Cowboys again. We ended that streak against the Eagles. We're not going to like the Cowboys pencil in. It's a win. It's a win.
I mean,
we're a better team.
They still haven't got Dak, thanks to us.
We're a better team. We're going to beat the Cowboys. We're going to beat the Bengals. We're going to beat the Browns. We should beat the Browns. And we'll figure another one out. We just got to sneak. We got to steal another one. Who knows? Who knows?
Wentz played it smart this weekend because
Wentz knew. Diana, you could say he was seeing a little tunnel vision, maybe. See what I did there? See what I did there?
Am I supposed to be offended by that being British?
I don't know. I
have to check the book.
Just thought it was. I just gave it a shot. I don't know.
Yeah, he ended up. He played the Giants and didn't get a broken leg. So that's a win.
They did throw him down a couple times. I like to see that though.
We tried. We went for the leg.
Not intentionally going for the leg, but we got some sacks out there. I was pretty happy with what I saw on that.
Oh, definitely upward trajectory for the Giants, which is nice.
And James Bradbury was a shutdown corner. Sure. He was a beast out there on Sunday.
He was a beast. So we've got a bye week next week, which is I always kind of enjoy going into a bye week when we just lost, but this week I'm kind of like, I really wish we were playing again this weekend.
Yeah, we're kind of riding that momentum, I feel like, but I don't know. We can heal up. So guys, Xavier McKinney might be back next week. And just also this run pass option that Jason Garrett's been doing as of late, it's been killing it. And we get Saquon back next year. And run pass option with Saquon and Danny Dimes.
So is that a guarantee that he's out for the rest of the season, or was it announced that he would be out of the rest of the season because at the time it was expected that our season would end?
Oh, it was an ACL. He's out for the season.
Okay, so there's no chance that he could come back.
I don't see one
playoff run.
Nah, no, I don't think so. But just imagine that combo in a run pass option situation with Gallman then as another guy you can throw in there as a change of pace.
But I think that's going to be
scary.
A situation we definitely still need to work on our receivers as well, because then that could be a situation where teams just know Giants are a running team, so pack it out.
Right. And Shepard's looked good. We still have Slayton next year too. Golden Tate's out, obviously. I would assume Ingram's probably gone. Bring in another tight end. And then Allen Robinson has been pretty good. I think Allen Robinson might be a decent signing. Maybe you could get him not super expensive, but also you could just draft somebody that's good. Get another Darius Slayton, snag one of those guys in the 6th round.
Well, yeah, I don't think we have to be looking for a quarterback anymore.
Nope, well, not at all. We got our guy.
So, good to go. So
that's the
Giants. I think
that's the Giants.
that's a wrap. So the next type of football. So we missed West Ham this weekend. So they're back against Sheffield United.
The
Now,
swords.
the blades, the butter knives, as they are this season.
The butter knives, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
because
that.
I mean, I remember that they played extremely well last season because they were kind of just fresh up from the championship and they played way beyond people's expectations. This year, they're back to where they should be, and they have
Bottom of the table.
They're pretty trash this season.
What happened?
I don't know because I don't think anything majorly changed. I don't think they got rid of any players. I don't think. I just the bubble burst. I guess.
Maybe.
Pun intended.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, hopefully that luck for them keeps going, and I mean that would be in our favor, obviously, going like this week. But yeah, I don't really follow Sheffield too much. I don't know too much about them, but this is a win. This is a game we gotta win, and this is one of those West Ham situations where it's like, oh, we should win this, so we'll fuck it up, kind of like we tried to do against Fulham, but like. Maybe we could trick ourselves into just being like, no, this is last year's Sheffield. You have to play them good.
Yeah, because like you say last week, West Ham have a trait of playing to their opponent's level, I guess.
Yeah, they play to their competition, and I hopefully they come out and they're firing offensively. I was looking this up before we started recording. Only 4 teams in the Premier League have a better goal differential than West Ham right now. We're +4, which isn't like, I mean, I know we're not too many games into the season, but still like Tottenham, Chelsea, Leicester, and Aston Villa are the only teams with more of a better goal differential than us. Southampton also has 4, but I just thought that was a weird fact. I didn't realize that.
No one needs to care about Southampton.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know. I think that we're in a spot right now. This is where, if we were looking at the schedule already, like to start the season, like this is where you want to be in a position. You just got to kind of finish it out. We have a decent run we can go on throughout the rest of the year. I think we have Villa coming up after this, and then I know we had to play Man U, but Man U's not been great this year.
No, they are. I think they've still got talking about goal difference. I'm pretty sure they're still in the negatives.
Yeah, they had that big loss, didn't they? And that really kind of fucked them. But
losing, was it 7-2? That doesn't help.
Yeah, and I think that I don't know. We gotta crush it against Sheffield. I think just kind of send a message and keep going. Like they've played well. They've been in just about every game this season, and it feels like it's going to be one of those games like Fulham, though.
Yeah,
like, I'm being positive. So positive vibes only going into this, but it does feel like a 1-0, 2-1 win.
Yeah, but I mean, not to look ahead too far, but it's funny how the season's kind of working out in that. Like you said, if before the season started, you'd kind of look at the run of games. Like the next run of games, you'd be thinking, okay, Sheffield United, easy. Aston Villa, easy. Man United, tough. But now it's kind of like I'm way more worried about Aston Villa than I am Man United.
I think it's fool's gold. Who I think is fool's gold. Fuck Aston Villa.
I hope.
No, I know.
I would love.
I know what you're saying, but I don't know why. I irrationally don't like them.
It's because they're frauds in Claret and Blue.
That's exactly why. Them and fuck Burnley too.
Yeah.
Burnley might be going down anyway, so fuck them.
Well, I genuinely I think maybe this is why West Ham are doing so well. We can kind of like stretch our wings and fly because, again, the way the Premier League's going this season, even though we're only 8-9 games in, I'm pretty sure we've already found out the 3 teams that are going down this year.
Burnley, Sheffield, and West Brom.
Yeah.
With Fulham in it too. Fulham's definitely in the discussion.
But yeah, I'm not.
West Brom's going down for sure. West Brom sucks.
Which is kind of a shame because I like Super Slav.
Yeah, well, I hope that Diangana is just sad that he didn't want to just sign with us, even though I don't really think it was his fault. So fucking, I don't know. I'm just a little bitter about the Diangana thing. So fuck West Brom.
I think that's more of a
It's our team. I know.
David Gold, David Sullivan.
I know, but I don't know. I can't root against us, so I'm rooting against them.
No. I don't think I'm not worried at all this year about relegation at all. I'm pretty sure those 3 or 4 are they're gonna work it out themselves.
I hope so, yeah. But let's finish top half. Let's be 8-ish. I'm not saying we got to get a top 6 spot. Let's get 8-ish.
I'll take 8.
Just we could be around there, 8, 9. I'd be cool with that.
And then Benny Hanna, he's growing into the game.
Yeah, he'll score this week. He's gonna score this week.
Do you think he's gonna start?
No. But I think he comes off the bench and scores.
Because he obviously scored. He got the assist last game, but then he also gave away that sketchy penalty at the end of the game. So maybe that works against him. But I think I would definitely like to see him more involved again. But then I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a switcheroo because isn't Antonio gonna be fit by the time we?
Is he gonna be back? I don't know.
I'll have to double check, but I remember at the time, early reports was always like he'll be back after the international window. So I mean, there's no breaking news on this podcast, I'm afraid, but I'm
not yet
quietly confident that he's going to be back. But I think my boy Allaire needs another shot. I think it's too early for him because I think he would work great with Benny Hanna and Bowen working with him.
I wouldn't hate that combo. Do you think you give it to Allaire, then you give Antonio one more week, kind of just make sure?
I mean, it depends how he is. If he's kind of like touch and go, then I don't think there's any reason to rush him back against Sheffield United. I'll just give him another week off. But I mean, if he's fully fit, then I mean, he's on a roll.
Why not?
Get him back.
Yeah.
But maybe switch it up. Just put both of them on. I don't know.
I'd be cool with that. I would be cool with either. I just want us to score some fucking goals. Score some goals this week. We should have scored multiple times against Fulham, and we didn't. And let's not make it close. Let's get like a nice 3-0 win or something like that.
You just want like 3 Lanzini goals.
Ideally, yes. Lanzini should come in and score a bunch.
As we say in England, thunder bastard. Scored a thunder bastard of a goal.
Thunder bastard. I got the lines for Sunday's game though.
Right, this is where you're gonna have to teach me how this works because American betting odds confuses me.
Well, it's a pick 'em right now, so really it's basically the same thing. I would take West Ham in that. West Ham is a pick 'em. It's even money right now, so you get back what you put down. But then total is it's 2.5. Do we go over or under 2.5 goals? I think we're gonna just be positive and say over 2.5 goals because we're going to score 3. That'd be 3-0.
Does that count if
it's a combo of
they score 1?
Yeah, that would be 3 goals.
Oh yeah, definitely over 2.5.
Over 2.5. All right, that's plus 120. That's a solid payout right there. So
wait, so that went from 1 and 1. Like get way back to plus 125.
So if you put down 100, you'd win 120.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Win back 120. So you'd really win 220.
Right. That's less impressive than it sounded.
But still, it's cool. So
plus 120. I was like, God damn. $1 down,
West Ham,
120 back.
West Ham to pick them, and then total over 2.5. Take that to the bank. Try that one out. Let's see if we can hit that.
Can we not add some more layers onto that? Can you what other options that we can add onto this?
I mean, we could look at props and stuff. I should have pulled all that up, but you can bet like West Ham to lead at half. Will it be tied at half? Will it be West Ham at half? And then also at the finish, will both teams score? Will West Ham win by 2 or more? Like, you can do all kinds of bets.
Okay. Maybe we'll go more complicated next time. So
we'll get into that next time. Yeah, I'll have it pulled
West Ham win, and then plus
West Ham win to pick them. Then over 2.5, yeah.
And that's at 120.
Yeah, I'm gonna go bet that now. Actually,
are you gonna put that $100 down?
Well, maybe not 100. I'll put 20 on it on each. That's not too bad.
I mean, not to promote gambling, but where do you gamble?
Bovada.lv and mybookie.ag. It's not like we're not supposed, like it's not like legal here in Texas, so you got to do it offshore.
I forget. Yeah.
I know up in Jersey, you can do it on just like an app, can't
Jersey,
you?
it's like free for all. Who cares?
That's pretty sweet.
We can gamble and smoke weed. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, you guys are living.
Well, I don't know how that works because I don't think we're actually allowed to do any of that until January.
Oh, you're getting it at least.
Getting it. Gambling, smoking weed.
But gambling's always been a thing there, hasn't it? I guess not sports gambling.
No. I want to say it's relatively recent thing. I've got another pen. I found another pen.
See, it's the pointing.
I'm pretty sure a few years ago we had to go out of state, like Pennsylvania or something, to go to a casino or something.
Okay. But isn't it Atlantic City? It's in New York, right? New Jersey.
Atlantic City is in Jersey.
So yeah.
Maybe I'm just making that.
Maybe they don't have a sports book, so I don't know.
Maybe sports betting. I don't know.
I don't know most of these things. I don't know laws. I'm not a lawyer. What is this? Court?
God damn it.
So we got West Ham winning.
You can't handle the truth. Is that what we say?
Exactly. So West Ham winning and over 2.5 goals. Those are our picks for this week's game. Those are my notes. Done.
Throw it away because it's already won. All right,
so that's it, huh?
I think we've exercised the demons.
There we go. We're going to get another dub. All of our teams have not lost since we have done Claret and Big Blue podcast, and we're expecting that to continue.
So other than that, anything exciting you want to report that you've got going on this week? How's your podcast coming along? Do you want to talk about what's coming up on your next podcast adventures?
Yeah. Pass the Gravy podcast. Check that bad boy out at Pass the Gravy Pod on Twitter, Instagram. We got new episodes every Wednesday on that one. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever else you listen to podcasts, and also go check out our YouTube channel, Pass the Gravy Podcast on YouTube as well.
Magic.
That's all I got.
Is Big Brother finished now? Is Path the Gravy Bro finished?
Oh, Pass the Gravy. Yeah, Big Brother's over, so we only do that during the Big Brother season. And I figured most people, the odds of somebody being a West Ham, Giants, and Big Brother fan are just even more minute than like a West Ham and Giants fan.
So you're not excited to launch our spin-off Claret and Big Blue Bro podcast?
I mean, who knows? We could cover it from your perspective too. I'm down for all podcasts, obviously.
The niche, the better.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, right. If you listen to this somehow and you didn't already follow us on our social media platforms, do so on @CBB Pod on Twitter and Instagram. If you're listening on Spotify, watch us on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, hello. Listen to us on Spotify. And still not on iTunes for some reason because Apple's still being fucking
working
weird
on
about
it.
it.
We're working on it.
I don't know. I keep submitting it and it's whatever. Fuck them.
We might have to have a couple episodes first.
It's gone downhill since Steve Jobs passed away. That's what I say. But until next week, until we talk about a magical West Ham victory. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.